Hello. I'm sorry about that. Something very important in the universe was calling for me. That's another story for another day. But where did we leave off? Yuvan. I was about to make Yuvan a deal that I hoped would secure the future of his people and bring them food for many years to come. I can only hope. Let's see what happens in this story, but please remember, something bad is coming.
A seed. I do not think it would make much of a difference to our famine.
A specially grown seed from my world. When planted and grown properly, clippings for generations can be taken as food. Please, Yuvan, I need to get home. I have a son and a daughter which I need to save.
Please, Father, we must help them. Please don't turn them away.
Yuvan's people would mutter amongst themselves. His teeth would grind. He'd look at me and nod.
We'll do our best to help you.
Oh, my head.
Waking up, Andrew would look around and jolt out of his place standing next to me.
Right, you things, get back. My bud here is a cold-blooded killer.
The bigger man is silly. How hard did we hit him, Father?
You've been asleep. They mean us no harm. They're going to help us get to the Dalek city.
Dalek City.
Andrew would pass out again, dropping on the floor.
You may want to carry him.
Some time would pass, walking through the dead forest. We'd finally make our way to the base of the Dalek city, walking down a steep slope towards the sewage entrance.
This is as far as I can take you, Trevinius. I wish you best of luck. The way into the city sewage is there.
Good luck, sir. And you too, Mr. Man that got knocked out and dragged around. Hope your head feels better.
Turning to face the direction given by Uvan, I'd noticed a large rusted hole sticking out from the side of the base, where the Dalek city lies overhead.
Thank you very much, Yuvan. Lillian, and all of you, your help is appreciated.
Suddenly, a sound of a Dalek would be heard in the distance. Shifting to the side so not to be seen, we'd all huff and panic.
Dalek Squadron 3922, return to Deck 40. Prepare the main chamber for the Emperor.
The Emperor?
Deck 40. We're heading there. I got a funny feeling the Emperor being on the planet isn't just a coincidence.
I grant my best of wishes to you both. I hope you know what waits ahead from here.
Uvan and his people would disperse, making their way into the darkness of the woods until the figures could no longer be seen.
Well, shall we?
One question. How do they survive out there with all that radiation you told me about?
It's really a complex thing to explain, but Thals have longer and thinner lungs than us, so it helps them resist the radiation better.
I don't understand.
I didn't think you would.
Oh, piss off, will you?
We'd continue down the sewage path. Suddenly, Andrew's foot would land in a green blob. The blob would let off a loud, yelping scream.
What did I just step on?
Be careful. The Daleks don't get rid of their dead like your people would. Everything around you down here are leftover pieces of Dalek.
Are they dead?
No, Daleks don't die naturally. They just start to rot.
As we'd continue making our way down the sewer, some of the rotting Daleks would begin to laugh at us manically.
How much longer do you think we'll be walking? This place absolutely stinks.
Well, what did you expect from rotting flesh? Roses? The smell of chocolate, perhaps?
No, I just want to get out.
Look, the sooner you shut up and keep walking, the quicker we'll get out of here.
Right, I've had enough. I'm not moving another inch from this spot. Do you hear me?
Okay, bye then. Enjoy the Dalek prison camps.
I didn't have time to argue. I really wanted to see my family, to know they were safe and unharmed. It was the only thing driving me forward. If Andrew wanted to be so stubborn, then so be it. Of course, he got scared and kept following me.
Wait up, will you? I think I've just stepped on an eye. Wait! Ah!
Turning back, hearing Andrew scream, a Dalek tentacle protruding from the sludge beneath Andrew's feet would wrap around his legs, slowly restricting it more and more.
Stay still. Stay very still. It can't see, so it might assume you're dead already.
Is that true? Are you lying to me? Don't lie to me.
Of course I'm lying. Just stay still. Let me think what to do.
Suddenly, an alarm would begin to sound. The Daleks knew we were here. An eye-stalk camera would be staring at us from the wall as it begins to glow and scream.
Alert! Alert! Intruders detected in sewer level! Intruders detected in sewer level! Deploy Dalek! Deploy Dalek! The intruders will stay where they are!
Quickly panicking, I'd hold Andrew's leg and try to pull it from the wrapping tentacle that would only tighten its grip. Suddenly, a door in the sewer shaft would begin to slide open as a Dalek would make its way closer to us.
Identify yourselves at once! Stay where you are! Do not move!
Yeah, I think that's a bit difficult right now, mate.
Dalek, scan me. You'll see I may be of major interest to you and your plans in the war. I hold valuable information within my subconscious, which you probably want to extract. Gallifreyan Council member, me? Yeah. Lots of knowledge tucked away for your use.
Scan in progress. 2 hearts detected. Vascular binary system detected. You will be necessary for our plans. You will follow me.
You might want to release my friend here then. One of your old colleagues are trying to take his leg away, it seems.
The abomination will be exterminated. Exterminate! Exterminate!
The Dalek begins to shoot at the tentacle. It would retract. Suddenly the sewer would begin to shake and laugh as other tentacles would drop down. We were in for a scary surprise. Myself and Andrew would duck low as the tentacles would begin to restrict the Dalek stood in the doorway.
You will let me go. You will release me. I am your superior. You are worthless. What? Dalek malfunction.
We'd duck as the Daleks would be distracted with their counterpart. We'd make our way into the hallway, slowly shifting through corridor after corridor. We'd watch as Daleks after Daleks would hover by. Sending my hand back, gesturing for Andrew to stay still, I would see 2 Daleks in an almost conference-styled room discussing.
TARDIS test 1 successful. We must report to the Emperor for the next phase. We will be victorious in this war. Affirmative. Daleks are superior. Time Lord science will be their own downfall. Lead the way. I obey. Main flight deck preparation is complete. The Emperor is on board and waiting.
The 2 would leave the room and make their way down the hall. Watching them, my teeth would grind against each other as I stare into nothingness. All I could think, they did this. They caused me to lose my family. it's because of them I almost killed Graf. Well, no more. It's time I got some revenge on these disgusting creatures. My moral compass was gone. Turning back to Andrew as he'd pull at my arm.
Look, are we following them or what? I'm scared, Trevor. Honestly, I am. I don't want to die here.
Huh. That's nice.
What is? Huh?
You finally called me Trevor. I remember when I told you my name. You've called me Trevinius till now.
Is this really the time to get sentimental?
No, you're right. Okay, let's follow Salt and Pepper over there before they get away from us.
We'd sneak after the two Daleks. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I was expecting to find down here. My brain just kept telling me, keep moving, keep searching. I knew I would find home in the end. But will there be a cost? I wasn't fully sure if I could keep Andrew safe. Heck, I didn't even know if I could keep myself safe. As the Daleks would turn into a main flight deck, there would be at least 8 of them gathered. Messing with controls on the walls, they'd begin to go silent. I was confused at what they were doing. I couldn't see much else. The rest of the room was blacked off. All I could hear was that horrid sound of the Dalek heartbeat, just echoing through the room. One would turn and take to the middle of the room. He was different from the others. His metal was black, his bumps a metallic white. Was this the Emperor? He was the only different one in the room.
We are ready for the next phase. Our Dalek engineers have reported the TARDIS conversion test was 85% successful. With further trial and testing, we can progress to our final plan. We will have the main advantage in this war. Daleks are supreme! Daleks are supreme! We will win the war!
Suddenly, through all their cheering, out of nowhere, an alarm would begin to sound, loud and piercing. The Daleks would all turn to their controls and scan for the issue.
Alert! Alert! Intruder was documented. Dalek sewer guard has been exterminated. Issue located. Transmat beam engaged.
I'd panic slightly and turn back to Andrew. Not knowing what to do, I would simply just let off a nervous smile and say,
Well, I think that means us.
Before I knew it, we'd be transported before the Daleks, slowly standing straight and turning towards them as they'd approach, screaming.
Exterminate! Exterminate! Exterminate!
My eyes would squeeze shut, panicking without hope. Andrew would do the same as he shouts.
No! No! No!
His shouting and my thoughts would quickly be cut off. The Daleks would also be silenced by a much louder presence.
Silence! Illuminate my chamber!
Suddenly, the Emperor of the Daleks would come into view. His casing was so large. He would be sat in this glass jar, staring at me with wires coming from him. I've never met the Emperor before. I don't think many have and lived to tell about it.
Daleks, check your records. This Time Lord is useful to our plans. We shall extract his brainwaves and use him for the final experiment.
We obey! We obey! We obey!
Right, I've just about had enough of this. We've been threatened enough today. This experiment, the final phase, this successful test I keep hearing about. What did you do to my TARDIS?
The capsule we experimented on should have been destroyed. Explain how you can be stood here, Time Lord.
Well, I guess your little experiment wasn't as successful as you thought it might be. Answer my...
Incorrect. This cannot be the TARDIS owner we chose for the first testing. There must be some mistake.
We do not make mistakes. We do not make mistakes.
Mistakes will be punished. Exterminate. Exterminate.
Before me and Andrew, we saw the truth of the Daleks, a race so obsessed with perfection. A simple miscalculation could get you killed. The strategist blew up before us. Things didn't look too good.
Now that we have you, your memories will help us fully map out Gallifrey and understand the Time Lord science used to keep us out. We will destroy the Time Lords.
Then you have nothing to lose. Tell me, what was the experiment you conducted on me?
A plan was devised. We knew of the Time Lords' use of their TARDISes as an advantage against us. We infiltrated the Time Lord telepathic link with the consoles. Our plans are to implement a code into each vessel that will cause them to implode as soon as they are put into flight. Each black hole that powers the core of the TARDIS will be ours to explode Gallifrey.
Then why didn't it work? What went wrong?
This will be recalculated and trialed once again. The Daleks will be successful. Your knowledge will make sure we do not fail this experiment a second time.
You're foolish! The engineers of Gallifrey will discover what you're doing well before you even get a chance. Don't you think one of the first things my people will do is check our most used pieces of technology? The war TARDISes, every other TARDIS. They're so widely used and stored. Great plan on the surface, but I assure you, they'll stop it.
Such fire, such anger. This is why you will be useful. Your mind will predict these actions and counteract them, Time Lord. You will be the storm that lays waste to your people.
So tell me, Daleks, I'm going to assume you have some sick, twisted score system for this war, a list of the dead. I want to see it. And before you tell me no, I want you to know you've taken me from my family, destroyed my life, and started ruining the civilization I came from, so nothing stops me from doing this!
I pulled my sonic pen from my pocket and placed it against my temple, squeezing ever so slightly on the activator.
Tell me, Daleks, just how useful is this brain of mine to help you in this war? One squeeze is all it'll take to disrupt it and destroy my brain. You say the first experiment failed. I know exactly why. So if you want to fix this stupid conquest for power, then you'll give me what I need.
Show him what he needs. This Time Lord will find nothing but death.
A hologram would appear before my face. Slowly, I would start scrolling through this list, looking for a name. Something to tell me what happened to my family. While searching, I would question the Daleks.
So, this plan of yours. Why did you delete Gallifrey from my ship's guidance? I know my way home, but you've put a block on it. I can't return, but why? Was it your little experiment? I get you wanted to blow my TARDIS up, but all you lot did was make one Time Lord regenerate and force my ship to take off. And why the location? Why did I end up on Levithia?
This is not our design. We did not do these things. Our plan was to simply explode the cores of each TARDIS. We had no role in your endeavors.
How? How can that be true?
Further analysis shows we have just discovered our link with your console unit was quickly diverted to an outside source. We had no control of your capsule. From the moment you entered flight, we lost our control. That is why you found your way here. Our data is still in your TARDIS, but we had no means of operating your systems.
My TARDIS can't just have a bug. I failed. They're still out there, the one that did this.
This has nothing to do with us. You will be taken prisoner.
Suddenly, while continuing to scroll, her name, in big, bold letters, would come up on the screen. I feared this moment. I was petrified of finding out if this was true, but it became so real. In that moment, I felt my senses die. Everything became impulse. Dropping my head. Fern, you're gone. Killed on those steps. My promise is broken, wife. One day I'll come to terms with that. but I never have. Not just yet. Deep down, it still plagues me. I'm sorry, Fern. You live on in my memories. While lost in a void of nothingness that has become my brain, noises would be muffled, but slowly becoming clearer. The Emperor would be ranting with his army.
Daleks will be victorious. We will win. We will win.
No, not today. Not now, nor ever.
What is the meaning of this interruption? You will be exterminated with all of your people once your use runs out.
I've had enough of you, this city, and every last disgusting Dalek here. You've angered me, Daleks, and that is not a safe ground to stand on. So remember this. Pass this on to everyone. Send it to the Creator himself because it's going to make a strong impact. Andrew, grab onto me!
Pulling the TARDIS key out, it would glow bright as my console room would begin to appear around me. The TARDIS teleportation circuit was still functional. An emergency exit. Rage would overcome me. Running to the console, I'd pull switches as sweat would fall off of me. Red would engulf my face. Andrew would try to pull me back, but...
For all the people on the planet of Gallifrey, my wife, my children, I have thought it through.
Sending my fist straight for Andrew's face, he'd be knocked out cold as he dropped to the floor. Continuing to pull at the switches and levers, I knew what had to be done. I rerouted energy from the TARDIS core to the outer shell of the ship, a massive drain on its power system, but I knew it would work. Suddenly, a wave of energy would fill the Dalek city, causing the main chamber to malfunction and overload.
Alert! Alert! System malfunction! Destruction of base is not avoidable. Alert! Alert! We must disembark.
Dalek temporal shift.
The TARDIS would take flight as a massive surge of energy shoots us out of the city and into orbit. The city fell to ruins, and the Thals continued to live in fear. I'm not sure what happened to them. I fell to the floor in my TARDIS next to Andrew, too weak to open my eyes. The Emperor? Sadly, I heard he was safe. He had once teleported. This laid the foundation for their next master plan.
Contact Davros. Inform him we will converge on Gallifrey full force once all troops are assembled. Prepare for the construction of the Nightmare Child. We will not lose. This is only the beginning of the Time War.
But that's just what they say. Who knows what happens next?